I've been in politics all my life.
Are you a Republican?
I have no idea.
Are you a Republican?
I have no idea.
Are you a Republican?
I have no idea. Everything's a lie. It's all a big lie.
Do you identify more as a Democrat or a Republican?
Well, you'd be shocked if I said that in many cases I probably identify more as a Democrat. And I think you'd probably be shocked.
On social issues?
You know, it's interesting. I've been now around long. You know, I think of myself as a young guy, but I'm not so young anymore. And I've been around for a long time. And it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. Now, it shouldn't be that way. But if you go back, I mean, it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats.
So I want to ask you, why then are you running as a Republican?
I identify with some things as a Democrat.
And I really believe in trashing your enemies and really being loyal to your friends. I'm a strong believer in loyalty, Dan. We have gridlock in Washington. For instance, I've helped Nancy Pelosi, I've helped Reid, I'm a business.
Right, you gave money to Reid and
Jake,
Pelosi to help recapture Congress in
Jake,
2006.
I'm a business. You know, I was in business. I built a great company. They always treated me nicely. We need that in Washington. We have total gridlock. We need that in Washington. We have total gridlock. I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years.
You support her?
I don't want to get into this because I'll get myself into trouble, but I just like her.
That's why I asked you to see me
I
in
know.
trouble.
I just like her. I like her, and I like her husband.
I think she will be. I know her very well. She's very talented, and she has a husband that I also like very much.
I have a friend who's a very great politician, very well-known politician, and he's been in Congress for years. And he said, I've never seen it. We've always been friends. He's a Democrat.
Oprah Winfrey? Would that really be your choice for vice president?
She's a friend of mine, but I do like her a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was done in the form of, like, a little sarcasm
friendly.
and a joke. And I said, I'd love to have Oprah. Let's go, because she is a friend of mine. And by the way, Ted Turner, he's great.
Goldman Sachs, I don't even have to ask a question. Goldman Sachs.
Well, I know Goldman Sachs very well, and I mean, look, I also know Lloyd Blankfein. He's a great guy. He's a
Brooklyn guy.
He's a Brooklyn guy, and he's a regular guy, and he's a smart guy, and I have a lot of friends in China. And I really believe in trashing your enemies and really being loyal to your friends. I'm a strong believer in loyalty, Dan. How long will we go on defending South Korea from North Korea without payment? I assume we're taking the oil. Are we taking the oil? You ever hear the expression, to the victor belongs the spoils? And I come out, front page news, oh, Trump is a horrible human being. He wants to take the oil from a sovereign country. Sovereign. Give me a break. You see the people ripping off sovereign.
Who would you like representing the United States in a deal with Iran, with this regime there?
Well, I think you have different people. I think Rudy would do a very good job. He'd be very much more militant. I think Hillary would have... Hillary's always surrounded herself with very good people. I think Hillary would do a good job. Our nuclear weapons, they don't even know if they work. I would get along with Putin. I've dealt with Russia.
You will have access to nuclear weapons. You'll have your finger on the button. Are you ready for the onslaught, the avalanche, if you will, of criticism that will come your way?
You know, I've been a very public person all my life, for whatever reason. While I've been in business, they say I'm the best-known businessman. I wrote The Art of the Deal, which was the #1 selling business book of all time, with The Apprentice, which became #1 and has continued to be a tremendous success. So I've been in the public eye, and, you know, when you talk about... Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump. And you mark my words. You know, I predicted the Iraq war better than anybody. I said in 2004, check it out, Reuters, don't do it, you'll destabilize the Middle East, and the bad guys will take over the oil, including Iran. I would take away their wealth. I would take away the oil.
But wouldn't you be destroying the wealth of Iraq?
No, let me... there is no Iraq. No, let me... there is no Iraq. No, let me... there is no Iraq. Once we did it, however, we should have stayed there at least. I mean, the mistake that Obama made was really just getting out. The war in Iraq has been a total catastrophe. And the day we leave, it's going to be the ultimate revolution, and that's going to be it. Nothing we're going to do about it.
How does the United States get out of this situation? Is there a way out?
You know how they get out? They get out. That's how they get out. Declare victory and leave. Because I'll tell you, this country is just going to get further bogged down. They're in a civil war over there, Wolf. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do with a civil war.
The job he's doing, Trump on Bush, on his job as CEO.
I would like to see our president get us out of the war, because the war is a total catastrophe. I would like to see President Bush get us out of Iraq. The mistake that Obama made was really just getting out, which is a total mess, a total catastrophe, and it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. It's a mess.
You are Mr. Ambassador, fix Iraq right now. Give me the 18-month plan.
Well, what you have to do is get out of Iraq. The mistake that Obama made was really just getting out. You can do it nicely. You can do it slowly.
No, that's vague. What do we do? I'm putting you in charge. Is it 90 days? Is it troops out tomorrow? Is it a year? Do we set up a different kind of... What happens? You're in charge.
I would announce that we have been victorious in Iraq and all the troops are coming home. And let those people have their civil war.
$20 million of taxpayer
Don't
money.
laugh. It may not be the worst idea. I'd like to have it. I just said, announce victory,
Okay,
get
so
them
you're-
home.
so- okay,
Let's
so-
spend that $20 million.
Okay, so just-
Let's say victory, tremendous, have a big thing in the streets, then get out real fast before you get shot. Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump. I beat China all the time. I beat China in so many different things. I beat people. I win. It's not fair. What they do to their currency and manipulation makes it impossible for our companies to compete, makes it impossible for our companies to compete, makes it impossible for our companies to compete.
I made a lot of money, by the way, with people in China. I made a lot of money.
I beat China in so many different things. I beat people. I win.
How did you beat China?
Well, it's not fair. What they do to their currency and manipulation makes it impossible for our companies to compete. I say you put a 25% tax on everything that's made in China.
That's a tariff.
That creates, and you know what? And then the free
a trade war.
That's right. And
Because
you know
they'll
what?
retaliate.
I'd love to have a. How are they going to retaliate?
Well, you know how much loans, you know how much money we owe China right now?
1 year of this tax and we don't owe them anything. 1 year of this tax and we don't owe them anything. Well, let me
they
tell
have
you
a lot of
something.
U.S.
I have a lot of China.
If they call in,
I
those
have a lot of
people-
so-called friends in China.
Is there a right to privacy in the Constitution?
I guess there is. I guess there is.
And the economy crashed so horribly under George Bush because of mistakes they made having to do with banking and lots of other things. I don't think the Democrats would have done that. Now,
The whole group has really done a good job. When you look at what's happened, I mean, at least we have an economy. You wouldn't have had an economy had they not come up with some very drastic steps 2 years ago.
What is the single most important thing President Obama can do right now to fix the economy?
Well, there are so many things, but number one is you have to provide money for people that want to build. You know, the biggest number one is you have to provide money for people that want to build. Money for people that want to build. I would tax people of wealth, of great wealth. I would tax people of wealth, of great wealth, people over 10 million by 14.25%. This tax would raise approximately $5.7 trillion, which happens to be our national debt. It would be a one-time tax, 14.25%, against people with a net worth